Yeah. So it is 6:30 and welcome to our AMBUCS call to action for the month of August. Uh, Hopefully Jenny and I don't overlap each other on this thing, but that's okay. Um, some people have asked, Gordon, it was chapter chat. Now you called it something else. Yeah, and it was just like, yeah, it was an executive order. And I signed it into law last week. And what happened here is over the last couple of years, the chapter chat works really, really well. And we get a lot of information. But as I've traveled around and I talk about chapter chats, they'll say, oh, did you want us to do something with that? Well, yes, we did. And the more people that, number one, come on these uh, Zoom meetings, huh? You're going to have to move, Jenny. Okay. I think I'm coming through Jenny's computer. Um, I thought it was the Zoom meetings were set up that there's an expectation that we get together, we talk about things, and then you take it back to your chapter as the call to action and inform your members of what's going on. And I think that's very important. And this one here, I was actually hoping that there'd be a couple of more people on here, but that's okay. Tonight, we're going to talk about the national conference that just passed and the national conference that will be coming up in 2026. But before I officially start, I honestly would like to, if we could, just do a group moment of silence and moment of prayer for not only our loved Janice, but also for Jimmy Rogenbach, who we laid to rest today in our chapter. Two dynamite people in AMBUCS, two people that are going to be uh, probably not actually replaceable. And we're going to have to figure out how we do that. So I just asked for a moment of silence for both Janice and Jimmy. And I thank each and every one of you. Jessica, do you have control of the slides?
I do.
I hope so, since Adam's missing.
Okay. One sec. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Make sure I'm sharing sound.
Yeah.
I am, but that would have been really awkward if I didn't check that before we get to the video later.
Okay, that's okay. The first slide you see is national conference. You should be there. Uh, Probably a better question to that is why you should attend a national conference. And want to go through a series of slides. There's actually only 6 for tonight. And one of the very first things I would say is we did a great deal of planning for the conference in Des Moines. And it turned out the ARC staff, the amigos, the national board, and probably our national president, Donna Carlton Vish, who did an excellent job of planning a conference. And for everybody that thought Des Moines, what's in Des Moines? Only corn. I those that came to conference that they found out there's a whole lot more than corn in Iowa. And It was an incredible conference. In the probably the relatively short term time that I've been a AMBUC, it probably would be number one or number two on the list of conferences that I've attended. And I would hope that all of you would have the the same feelings or about our conference. Uh, Next slide. So we had 202 amazing AMBUCs go to Des Moines, Iowa. You sit there and go, well, Mount Metro had 25, 26, or a whole bunch of them. They certainly sounded a whole lot. But we had people from all over the nation. People from Northeast region. We actually had people from Western region show up, and their comments on conferences was extremely positive. Yeah, out of those 202 attendees, 25 of them were first timers, and I hope that there's actually some first timers in here that could share their experiences of Des Moines. Uh, did they get the expectations that they wanted out of it? Um, National conference is a huge opportunity to network. Um, when we have our region conferences, we have an opportunity to socialize and network from our own regions, which in a lot of ways we get very similar responses and ideas throughout the regions that we live in. But a national conference truly gives you an opportunity to talk to AMBUCs from all over the country. And this year we had an incredible experience with that. Does anybody have any comments? We sent out in the newsletter, there is a survey in there. I don't know how many have responded as of Friday. There was only 3 responses. Um, the comments were out of those that I read were extremely positive. Some things are totally beyond our control, like cold eggs in the morning. When you open the line for service in the morning, you're really at the control of people going through the line, taking their eggs, bacon, and whatever the case may be, and actually closing the lid back up to try to maintain some heat. Uh, Cold eggs in the morning probably is not a showstopper for us because that's actually not really in our control. Um, But what other comments does people here have that are good, bad, or ugly?
I
Anybody?
thought it I thought it was wonderful, and like you said, I thought Des Moines would be flat and corn and nothing of interest, and the drive from Grand Rapids would be nothing of interest. And once I got past Chicago, what a pain in the ass that was. Anyway, um, the drive was delightful, and the country was interesting, and yeah, I just was really impressed with Des Moines. So, and you know, I the national conventions to me are, yeah, oh, there you go, something, yeah. The national conventions to me, ever since I went to my first one, I have not missed one since, and they've just been the chance to meet, to be with old friends and meet new friends, and yeah, I thought it was wonderful. So whoever's in charge, great job. So I'm gonna give that credit to Janice.
Eh, I think that's probably very good and to give all the credit to Janice, but the ARC staff and I would say Donna Carlton Vish had a very, very large part of it.
Yes, she did.
And, you know, I could say she did an amazing job, but because she knows that I'm not going to say that, I'll say she did a good job.
It
Yeah,
was amazing. It was amazing,
it,
Donna. Yeah.
it was.
You owe me a hug. You owe me a hug, but it was
Yeah.
amazing. So
Uh, you know, I don't think the survey went out, but you know, when I had sent it to Adam, I used the term good, bad, and ugly. The good is stuff that we want to continue to do. The bad is something that probably not a showstopper, but we need to tweak it or make it better to work. And the absolute ugly is something, don't do that again. And I'm not sure there was any comments that reflected ugly, which is a good thing. And I think that what we have is a lot of information and continue to get the surveys completed so that we can build upon the conference in Des Moines and conferences further down the road. And I think that's always helpful. And I see Dee and Janet Lapine and Jada. Jada, where's Jada? She disappeared. Jada,
She's here.
yeah, tell us some comments.
Okay, so I was one of those newcomers that you were talking about, and I thought that the national conference exceeded my expectations exponentially. I had a great time. I mean, my roommate was a little hard to take, but it's because it was Janet. But other than that, no, it was good. It was so fun. I learned so much. I think almost everybody on this chat is now my Facebook friend. I made so many new friends. It was great. I have already started handing out little buckets for people to save their change in to go next year to Myrtle Beach.
And I actually saw those buckets when I was at your chapter meeting last week, and I think that's a great idea. And I'm sure that the chapter president came up with that great idea because I'm not going to give the credit to Jada. But yeah, you know, little things like that help
Jada
us.
gets all the credit for that. That was
Yes,
her
yes,
brainstorm.
yes, she does, and she was very enthusiastic about it. Does anybody else have any comments?
Jada, don't you want to comment about the Amtrak deal? No?
Uh,
They need to know. I mean, it's not.
I enjoyed it. I just, okay, so when I heard about conference, everybody said, "Oh, you're not going to believe the Amtrak presentation. It's so neat." And then at regionals, there was the Amtrak presentation when we were there, and it was so neat, and everybody was in the room, and we were cheering for that guy, and he was riding through, and we had this connection. He and I made eye contact, and it just really moved me in at national convention. It was neat, and it was neat to see the course, but it was kind of a letdown from what people told me that it was going to be, because it didn't feel like it didn't feel like it felt like there was a lot of things going on all over the place, but not anything that was easy to focus and you didn't feel like this movement of all these kids getting trikes at the same time, or all these people, I guess, not necessarily kids. So it wasn't what I expected, but it was still nice. And I mean, obviously you had to pivot some this year and do some things a little bit different, and so I think it just wasn't what I expected.
Yeah, it's a very fair comment, and yeah, and I actually noticed a couple of things that you just said during that time, and it's definitely noted, and we're going to work on that for next year.
But let me tell you one thing I think that you guys did such an amazing job of. For newcomers, I can't believe how much you make your newcomers feel truly wanted. Like every session you go into, you're applauding, and people come up to you, and they notice your name tag color is different, and they're like, "Oh, this is your first one. How are you enjoying it? Have you found things?" Right? So people are just so friendly. That's one thing about the national convention is all the people there, you could tell that they truly care about the organization and the mission, and there's such passion, and it's easy to get contagious. But you guys don't make it feel like newcomers are like, oh, well, this is your first time, so stay back in the corner and just, take it all in. It's like, whoa, we're so happy to have you. Get in here. Come on. You're part of it. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
I'll stop talking now.
Yeah, I really appreciate that comment, because one of the most important things that we can do is be very inclusive and make everyone feel comfortable at the conference, and definitely to feel wanted. And if we did that for you as a first timer, then good job. And I really appreciate it. Carmela?
I know one thing that I really felt that was super good about this one is the hospitality room. I think that's where everybody really gets to get close to each other, et cetera. And with that extra space and the way that room was, it made it easy for people to go around and not just get stuck with the 2 or 3 people they were next to, because we had room to move. And I know my new members enjoyed that immensely, because that's when they got to really meet new people and get to talk to them. So I think just for future, man, that was awesome.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and with a couple of changes that took place at a very, very short notice, where it was totally under the Marriott's control, to them changing and allowing us to have control of our own hospitality room, and I think Donna Hinston and Fina did a really, really good job of planning that. When we did a retreat there, it was just like, oh, this hospitality room is going to be really special. And it was. You just don't want anything 11:30 at night on a Saturday night where you have the new national president trying to sing, because that did not work. Yeah.
I'm glad I was in bed by then.
Yeah, and I think Jenny has a comment, I believe.
I have an after conference comment. I don't know what you did to ARC staff, but this is the first time since I've been in AMBUCS. All of my checks have already cleared. In fact, they cleared before I even got home to Oklahoma. Usually it takes 60, 90, 7 months. Every single check that I wrote at conference has cashed. Awesome job. That's
Hey,
it.
Jenny, I did that as soon as I got to North Carolina.
Yeah, there you go, and that's a kudo also. So if we go back to
Janice help.
and if we can go back to the slides again. And it'd be the slide with the bright shining face, that guy. Yes, I'm not sure why Matt's picture's on there, but we'll deal with that. But this is some takeaways from conference surveys and people just passing messages to us. Dynamic speakers. I think our speakers this year overall might have been the best that we've had in a lot of years. Just really collectively. I mean, it was emotional. It was laughter. It was a whole lot of smiles, and whoever gets the credit for those speakers, job well done. Inspiring giveaways. I'm guessing that might be the Amtrak's. I think we all agree that every Amtrak presentation is a mixture of emotions. The happiness to see the freedom that someone has gained, the sense of mobility, seeing the smiles on the parents, grandparents' face. And it can also be a real tearjerker for all of us, because I think every one of them an Amtrak presentation becomes a really emotional experience for us. The venue, uh, first and foremost, it was spot on. The Marriott was definitely the right choice. And I think that probably the general membership may have seen or might not have seen, but I think that we owe a lot of kudos to the Marriott staff. They did an amazing job. I think every time there was a question asked, it wasn't, oh, wait 10 minutes or I'll take a message and I'll get back to you. It was just like, oh, well, your water's not running the way you want it. Oh, let's go fix it now. And they did, which I don't really remember any problems like that. But, you know, the hotel shuttle that took us everywhere in downtown Des Moines, picked us up, took more people to another location, picked them up. Just incredible. And then for the Marriott to have, and I don't have any proof of it, I'll just go with what they said. They had the only wheelchair accessible van in Des Moines at a hotel. I don't know how much use it got, but you know, that option was there. And, you know, not only the venue in Des Moines, but the entire city of Des Moines, the restaurants, the Capitol, the baseball stadium were all top notch. And, you know, with every conference that we have, we get lots of laughs. And there was lots of laughs, not only from speakers, but maybe some speakers that actually spoke out of place or said the wrong words or gave horns down at the most inappropriate time. If you didn't catch that, I actually did that. The networking, people actually took the time to talk to other people and from other chapters, other regions. That was seen all over the conference. Some chapters did sit together, some chapters broke up and sat at other places. The hospitality room was amazing. It was a great source of networking. Education sessions, I had a chance to go to two, and I was surprised when I went to one. I was talking to one of the amigos and I saw the class across the room and I looked at Greg and I said, see ya, I'm going to that class. And when I walked in the door, it was a first timer teaching it. And it was amazing. Arthur and his, I actually don't know what the title of it was, but it was just the way he taught the class and the way he talked about what the state of Texas did and how it actually related to the military was what was amazing. The staff, both at the Marriott and within ARC, ARC and the National Board did an amazing job. And hopefully all of you took something home from that conference. Any comments on any of that stuff? Uh-oh.
I would just continue to do a push for the survey. Please do that.
Yeah.
We really take that stuff into consideration. If it's negative, if you hated something, we're still going to look at it. I can guarantee you of that. We actually took some of the negative feedback. I did a conference recap meeting with members of the ARC staff on last Monday, and we hammered down through the negative feedback and looked at potential solutions or decided if it was something that we had the ability to change. So if you look for your August newsletter from AMBUCS, you will have a link for that, and we encourage you to fill it out, please. Please, please, please.
Yep, absolutely. And I agree 100% with what Jessica said. And I've always thought is feedback is a gift, whether it's positive or negative. Feedback that we get.
Just put your stuff away.
Who's talking? Okay. Feedback is a gift. And if we can go to the next slide. Does before we start talking about that, Myrtle Beach, are there any final comments on the conference in Des Moines? Okay, moving on to Myrtle Beach. That's good news that you're either really quiet, hungry, or whatever the case may be. You just
Tired.
don't want to give any
Tired.
feedback.
We're
but
tired.
yeah, in Myrtle Beach, August 26 to 29, 2026. Now, why would we be talking about Myrtle Beach right now? Because we want more than 202 people to come to National Conference in Myrtle Beach. Why? Because you asked for it. From comments from about a year and a half ago, comments were, it'd be nice to be near water. It'd be nice to be near a beach. It would be great to be in a destination location. It would be nice to go to a place that we can branch out and have a lot of activities and great restaurants and everything. Well, guess what? The team that went out and did a site survey on Myrtle Beach found what you were looking for or asking about. The other thing, and we're going to talk about this in a few minutes, is start planning. And this is one of those places where changing the name from chapter chat to call to action, this is your action moment. Take this, take it back to your chapters, your regions, districts, and start talking about Myrtle Beach. And I'll try really hard throughout the year to keep calling it Myrtle Beach because Donna Carlton-Viss knows I have a habit of calling it Myrtle the Turtle. Because of all the giant turtles that happen to show up on the beach every once in a while. This is an opportunity to plan a year out, a year and 2 weeks. And people that say they can't, start putting away a little bit of money each month. You'll find that it's going to a place like this is actually affordable. And Jessica and I talked the other day for a little while, and we talked about 300 at Myrtle Beach. I think 350, 375 is a goal we should shoot for. And the reason is because it's what the membership asked for. Next slide is a little long. It's actually a video. It's a little long, but it's going to basically do a walkthrough of the Hilton that we're going to go at and stay, so you can get your first. I already have a baby. Yes, very good, Jada. It's going to give you a walkthrough so you can see what the rooms look like, the patio areas.
Hello from Myrtle Beach. Today we are at the north end of Myrtle Beach proper near the Arcadian Shores, or in the Arcadian Shores area. We are at this lovely Hilton property here. We're actually going to give you a room tour during this video of this tower over here. We're going to take a look at one of the rooms there, but we're also going to go inside and show you everything this resort has to offer. Hi, I'm Carmen. If you're new here, we cover everything Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area. If you're a return viewer, welcome back. We are so glad to have you with us. So as you walk in, you have this grand lobby. I mean, this is seriously grand. You've got some rooms that are looking out over the lobby. You have a couple of gift shops here. You've also got a quick service style eatery, but there are several restaurants up here on the mezzanine level, as well as a few bars. So we're going to check all of that out. They've also got the Black Drum Brewing, which was actually a pretty big deal when it owned. It's a microbrewery here that's right here at this resort. So all kinds of things to do here. They've definitely got a lot of pools and other activities as well. And of course it's oceanfront, so we're going to check that out too. There are several Hilton properties in the Myrtle Beach area so that you can find this one. This one is at 10,000 Beach Club Lane. So just to let you know that that is where it is located so that you can easily find it. But I wanted to show you this gorgeous outside area. You've got these really nice sitting nooks. You've got a huge life-size chess set over here. Lots of places to relax. This beautiful ocean view. And of course, you've got this beautiful pool area. Let's go down the stairs and take a closer look. Here's a closer view of these beautiful pools. They also do have a kiddie pool if you've got your little ones with you, as well as a fun oceanfront bar. I mean, what a great place to hang out and enjoy this beautiful day. We are having some amazing weather right now. Let's go out and get a closer look at the beach. We've got some nice seating area over here to the side as well. Plenty of loungers, like lots and lots of loungers. You've got some umbrellas if you like to stay out of the sun. And then you've got this gorgeous view. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than this. I'll walk up here to the corner so you can see a little bit more. And this is a beautiful area of Myrtle Beach. It's pretty secluded. So this is not going to be a super busy area of Myrtle Beach if you're looking to get away from sort of the busier parts of Myrtle Beach. Also, you got oceanfront beach access, which is awesome. And it is right here next to this bar. And this bar also has these awesome sort of sit at the bar. I mean, not the bar, but here, I mean, look at this. Just sit here and enjoy this view. I could definitely sit here for quite a while with this awesome view. Here's a more up-close view of that great outdoor bar by the pool. And also they do have another section of pools over here. And so this one has a nice waterfall. It kind of looks like a lazy river, but it's not. It's actually a pool. But beautiful landscaping and design of the pool. Now I'm down on the beach to give you the beach view. So this is looking back at the hotel. There's that bar, there's the great pool. So I wanted to mention here, a lot of these hotels you see, a lot of them are all in conjunction with each other. So they have a shuttle that goes between them. So like the Black Rifle Brewing that I mentioned, it's down in this direction. And then also the shuttle runs this way, and they share some facilities with the Embassy Suites. So it's not just this one resort. They have a lot of shared amenities, which is pretty neat. So you get a lot of different options. But then, of course, I had to show you this beautiful beach. And if you're wondering, we get this question a lot, like, where is the beach? It is high tide right now. So this is what high tide looks like. We're right at the peak of it. But it's no less beautiful. I mean, this is just gorgeous. And like I said, this is a beautiful, beautiful part of Myrtle Beach. This Arcadian Shores area is very peaceful, very quiet. And those buildings you see in the distance down there, that is North Myrtle Beach, because we are at the northmost end of Myrtle Beach proper. Back inside in the main lobby area, I'm now on the second floor. So you've got the Aranda bar and also Cafe Amalfi. In the bar area, they even have a piano, so that's pretty neat. This isn't open right now, but you can tell this would be a great space, especially if it was either dark outside and you didn't want to enjoy the ocean view, but you can see it from inside, or you know, if it's a rainy day or something like that. They do have a full service spa here, so that's something you can definitely look into if you are staying here. Let's take a look at a room. So this is one room that is in this resort. This doesn't represent every room type, but we wanted to at least show you one room we've got here. So we're going to pop into the bathroom. You've got a tub and a tiled shower. The floor is also tiled. You've got a toilet, got some artwork. You've got a mirror with a sink there. And then it does have a little mini kitchen over here. You've got a microwave, some storage. You've got a dual coffee maker, 2 cups at a time, which is nice. You've also got an ice bucket and a good size fridge. You know, it's not full size, but that's a pretty decent size. It's like a half size fridge. Over here, you've got a king size bed with 2 nightstands. You've got a nice chair and ottoman here, a decent size TV and dresser. There's the other nightstand. One point is there are not USB plugins on both sides of the bed. There's only that one there on the one side of the bed. Again, it's going to probably vary from room to room. Got a couple of chairs and a small table, and then we're going to go outside. This is an ocean view room. They also have ocean front rooms. These doors are very heavy. So a nice 4-seater table. And then you do have a really good view of the ocean once you come out here. I mean, this is really nice. But to show you another example, so this right here, that huge balcony is for one condo. So there are different size rooms, so definitely look into that if you have a larger family. If you'd like to learn more about Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
Okay, that's an example of Myrtle Beach and what we have to look forward to. There are a lot of videos I've gone through on YouTube. I think this was just a simple Google search that they did, but this is something that we want to continue doing throughout the year to help promote and build up attending at Myrtle Beach. Now, I'm going to ask our resident of Myrtle Beach if she would give a little bit of that area and the resort area. So Donna, the floor is yours. If she was there. Hello, Donna.
If she's not able to speak, I know Carmela and I both also did this site visit of this property. And one of the things that blew us away was those shared amenities that she mentions in the video. So if you want to go down to the water park because you're bringing kids and you want a little more kid-friendly environment, you can head down to the embassy to do that. If you want to hang out at the bar patio area, which is where our Hilton property has, you can do that. The shuttle services take you all throughout the park where there are many different things, restaurants that you can go to. They've got a couple of little shops that you can go to. So you really don't even have to leave that resort property during your stay at Myrtle. So I see that DCV has unmuted. Let's see.
Yes, sorry if it's a little loud.
That's okay.
We're sorry, we're in a restaurant, but yes. So I own a little place in Myrtle Beach. It's a phenomenal area, very family friendly. All the things that Jessica said, this resort is wow. With the arrangement with 3 different facilities and the shuttle that goes amongst them between all of them, not far from this particular Kingston resort is several golf courses for all the golfers. Golfing is very huge there, so bring your golf clubs if you play golf. The ocean is phenomenal. You're going to spend a lot of time out there. I wasn't sure because I was trying to unmute if Jessica mentioned the little playground for kids and the little kiddie pool that was in the midst of all the 3 hotels that are there together. But it just was like, wow, it spoke family all over the place. It was very easy to get in and out. I know several restaurants in the area that are phenomenal. Shameless plug for my son-in-law who manages several of them. So we can perhaps get some deals for our AMBUCS and some things brought in. It will be great fun. There are so many shows that are off, I'll say the campus area, that we can, so many side trips, it will be impossible to try to get all of them planned. So please, I love the bucket idea. I love the fact that we have it set up already, that we can promote it now, and that we can get, our 300 to 375 people there. So you all go out, you tell everybody you got to come to Myrtle Beach. Thank you.
I'm going to jump in, Gordon, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Like Donna said, I think, and Jessica said, I think one thing that impressed me is that you don't just have one pool to go to. You have many different ones. You have many different patio areas. So again, it can be where it's not so crowded. You also have nice little walks on the little boardwalk and areas. So if you just want to make a little stroll and you don't want to get on the beach itself, because sometimes walking on the beach is hard, there's lots of opportunity there. And that shuttle, like Donna said and Jessica, it takes you to a lot of restaurants there. In a lot of little areas. It is somewhat doesn't take you every place in the area, but again, minimal Uber drive. You can go to another big boardwalk as well, which a couple of us met there beforehand, and it's not much of a drive to there. Whether you have your own vehicle, you want to take an Uber. So again, it opens the opportunity. Just so much to do, and not just at the resort. So there's no excuse for somebody to get bored or not like what they're seeing or eating or whatever.
Thank you.
board
And
that
go ahead.
is talking about, another fun opportunity is the Ferris wheel, because you can really see everything, and that's on that boardwalk she was talking about. And it also has some shops that are quote unquote old Myrtle Beach that are kind of fun to go into. So lots of unique shopping in that area. And the boardwalk itself is pretty long, so you have a lot of opportunities and a lot of opportunities to have some lunches or dinners or whatever as groups along the edge of the water there. Lots of outdoor eating.
Yeah, Terry?
Hey, thank you. How far is it from the airport?
30 minutes, 14 miles.
Yeah.
And are we going to be the only conference at the property?
I think that we are the only conference at the Hilton. I
Okay.
can't speak for the resort.
And I can look it up, but could you give me like a short synopsis of the meeting space?
Yeah, so this one has some main meeting space in the main area, in the main portion of the building. But then they also have a ballroom with a lot of breakouts that are in a building that extends just behind the property. Everything's covered. So there's a lot of opportunity there to either use that ballroom space that's the extension of the property, or to stay a little bit closer to the rooms. You thinking about for Big Hat?
Yeah, I gotta think a lot about Big Hat.
I think we've got a really pretty space that would be really interesting for Big Hat and
Okay.
the auction. So we'll dig down into that with you, Terry.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Love Hospitality, we also have a very, very fabulous space for hospitality in Myrtle Beach, like a whole floor.
Okay. So the question I have is, everybody on here, are you guys ready to go to Myrtle Beach?
I am. There's a
Yeah.
direct flight from Grand Rapids.
All
No
right.
driving through Chicago.
Okay, there you go. Now, we just saw this wonderful area, and we saw the beach and the ocean and all that stuff. There is actually still a conference to attend. So yes, it's going to be nice weather, nice summer weather. The beach is going to be enticing. The ocean's going to be enticing, but we're still going to want people to come to our education sessions and general sessions and stuff like that. But we're going to work on some ideas. Maybe we can do some stuff outside, just to add a little beach flavor to it. So I guess the next question is how much does it cost me to go? We have that information. The room rate is $169 per night.
That's cheap. That's very cheap.
Very inexpensive for the
Yes.
Myrtle Beach area. If you would go onto that same hotel, you'd probably find the rooms in the $300 to $400 range or more. So offer, through the negotiation and all that stuff, getting a room rate for $169 is very inexpensive. And this is one of the other reasons that we wanted to have a chat on this 12 months out, is because we want people to start saving their pennies, put it in a little beach bucket with Mountain Metro if you want to. I'm sure they'll be glad to take your money. Find ways that you can fundraise to get people that want to go that maybe can't afford to go. And let's just get members to go to Myrtle Beach. It will be fun. It's going to be active. It's going to be great sessions. Yep, I plan on driving with a car full of stuff. The valet service is $20. Self-parking is $11.99. I'm assuming that's per day. Is that correct, Jessica?
That is per day. And I can honestly say I did self-park and the parking garage is not very far from the opening of the hotel.
Okay.
Linda Mask is having a very big birthday. Well, we are there that actual week in the middle of it. And it's a significant number. And her daughter is talking about chartering a bus and taking a bus of mountain metros to caravan across the country, if you can picture that.
I can't actually picture a caravan of Mountain Metro going across the country in a bus. That would be a real treat. And, I'm willing to hide in the corner.
I I don't know where Daisy would put all her luggage, but
Yeah.
maybe the
Well,
second bus.
So I
Carmela,
had a conversation with Janice's granddaughter, and she had been in Myrtle Beach the week before Janice passed, and I invited her to come to the conference in Myrtle Beach next year. And I said, I am sure we will do something in honor of Janice. So I don't know what that will be, but if I have to be in charge of that, I will.
yeah, I'm sorry you just volunteered. So, okay, we'll put that in the agenda.
There you go. I volunteered before, Gordon.
Yeah, I appreciate that way, but I think it's important that we recognize people like Janice and
Yes.
Dr. Jimmy. Does anybody have any questions on Myrtle Beach? Because we're actually about 13 minutes early. Is there anything else that you would like me to discuss before we sign off?
Hi, Gordon. It's Stephanie from Metro East Illinois. I've got a question that on something you guys keep talking about. Sadly, I couldn't make it this year to Des Moines because sometimes these conferences correlate with my big family vacation. So my heart was broken that I couldn't go. But trust me, at our motorcycle event, we raised probably close to $1,000 or more for AMBUCS because we support AMBUCS at a national level. But you guys keep mentioning these bucket things, and I would like to know more about what the bucket thing is so that I can pass on to my little chapter what the deal is with that.
I think that probably the best thing I could do is turn that over to Janet or Jada, and they can best describe it.
Jada, you go for it, girl. It was your brainstorm.
I just had to remember how to unmute myself. You know what? We just ordered beach buckets. They came with a little, it's like a little shovel and pail. There's a link to it I put in the chat. And then I just wrote on it, Myrtle Beach, AMBUCS 2026 or something like that. I can't remember what I wrote. But I just handed them out at clubs so that people could start saving their change in their buckets.
Here's the bucket.
Yeah, and then next year, they
I
can
already
take
have
it out
money
on the
in mine.
beach.
Okay. That sounds like a cool idea to help people save for the conference. That's what my group sadly comments about is the cost of these conferences aren't always easy for everybody. So that's a cute idea. I like it, especially with the little pail and everything. That's really sweet.
I think it was like $25 for 30 buckets, so just under $1 a piece. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't even need 30 buckets. I need 5. My chapter is very tiny.
Hey, Gordon, is that resort fee every night as well? That $20?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be misleading to some that are
Sure.
on a tight budget, like Stephanie said, because I don't want to think, oh yeah, you're just 169. Because even sometimes we've seen where parking all of a sudden will set somebody off if it's a little extra. So I just wanted to make sure before it's still very reasonable. And I think a lot of us will come many extra nights early in advance. And the property is really, really, really nice.
Yeah, I've already told my husband, you're coming with me. I don't care. I'll turn you into an AMBUC in a matter of minutes. So we're coming.
There you go, Stephanie. Yeah, get your chapter.
Good.
going. Okay.
Good for you, Stephanie. I've tried for 40 years and it hasn't worked.
It helps that he basically builds every one of my Amtraks that we have taken out of the
There
house.
you
They
go.
all get built in my garage. So I'm like,
There
you
you
can come
go.
with me and
Yeah.
sit through this and enjoy the beach. So it'll all work out. I'll have people there next year, I promise, even if it's just me.
Very good.
And when Jada said something about the new members, I will just tell you my new members that came from our chapter, which was a couple of them, before they actually left the conference, they had already signed up an extra person, if not two. So again, if we can get some of these people to come to conference one time, I think they get very excited and enthusiastic about it. And then they'll go find you new members for your chapter too. Even if it's just one or two, one more new member is huge.
Yeah, I had to promise I will come when they are getting their big hats. So I'll be making a trip to Longview.
There you go.
Well, Carmela, I always said that I never wanted to like have a leadership position or anything, right? I just wanted to be a member. I've said that like the whole time. And then I went to national conference and Janet talked me into being vice president with Dee. So yeah, now there's that.
There you go. Good
Yeah.
deal.
Jada, probably everybody in here probably had no aspirations of going any further than being a member. And somehow around the line, you just sit there and go, I need to do this, or I want to do this, and you end up doing it. And, look at the people that's on here. Probably most are chapter presidents. You will be. There's no doubt in my mind in Mount Metro, you will be a chapter president. I see you in action, and you're the type of person that we need for recruiting and helping to retain membership. And what you do is very much appreciated. Yeah.
Probably 30 more than 30 years ago, I was elected second vice president, and our secretary then had dropped out, and somebody said, would you consider being secretary again? And I said, yes, if it means I never have to be second vice president. Well, that was probably 1988, and I am still secretary. But I'm not second vice president. No.
Yeah, that's funny. Does anybody else have any comments or anything that you would like me to say? Oh, I actually want to talk one thing about Amtraks. For those that did go to conference, you heard this. Those that did not, on August 12th, which is tomorrow, there's going to be a order for Pro Series trikes. There's a limited number of them. So if you want, make sure you get online and order the Pro Series trikes. One of the most important classes that we had was an Amtrak presentation on the new pace line. And AMBUCS has quite a few pace lines that are readily available, but it takes one person 2.5 hours to put the pieces onto the pace line. So if you take a guy, and I'll just use Jake as an example, has an 8-hour day. He probably works many more hours than that. But if you take Jake and you say, you're going to build me Amtraks today. Well, in 2.5 hours each, he can build 3 during that 8-hour period. So with that said, it takes a long time, over a month's time, if he was doing that nonstop, he could put out 90 Amtrikes per month. Well, we have a lot more requests for that, for Amtrikes. So one of the opportunities that we have is if you have the willingness to put the bikes together yourself, AMBUCS will give you a 10% discount on the trike. No, we're not going to ask you to go in blind on that. Adam, Jake are putting together some resources to show how to put those parts together. But it's an opportunity to get trikes and save a few dollar bills. And you're disappearing, Stephanie. Jessica, do you have anything to add to that?
No, but we talked about some of the timeline of the BCA transition during national conference as well during the annual report. There's a few other Amtrak announcements that Gordon is mentioning in the hub announcements, but then also you can get the annual report in the hub as well as any education session PowerPoints that were provided to us. Those are now available as well. And I do believe the last AMBUCS newsletter also has an easy link to some of those presentations.
Yeah. All right. Matt, you had a question or comment?
Yeah, I was just going to put in a plug for Myrtle Beach for everybody. You know, that's in the southern region. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it being, on a personal note, being where, you know, I'll be inducted as national president for our organization. But Myrtle Beach is a great destination. It's one that I went to as a kid growing up and as a teenager. Took my kids there, you know, when they were young as a family vacation. And now that Lynette and I have 3 grandchildren, the last 3 years we've gone back, you know, each year we've gone to Myrtle Beach again, you know, and so it's, even though it's only a 4-hour drive for us from Augusta, it's always a place we enjoy going. So, you know, that's, I hope that kind of, you know, makes you feel better about going there. It's a beach destination. There's always a lot going on there. I mean, from North Myrtle Beach down to the other end of Myrtle Beach is actually like close to 30 miles, I want to say, or something. So as Donna said, there's tons of golf courses there, all kinds of parks, playgrounds, boardwalks. There's plenty to do. If you feel like getting out and about, you can find somebody nearby that's going to rent like scooters or golf carts or things like that, you know, or little bikes, things like that. So there's definitely all kinds of ways to get out and about and take in Myrtle Beach. And you know, these resorts are also very self-contained also, so you can get as adventurous as you want at one of these trips.
All right, thank you, Matt. And just between you and me, that's going to be 13 very, very slow months to get to your induction.
They'll be there. It'll come quicker than we think.
Yeah, well, Donna, you're waving? No? You're on mute. You're on mute, Donna.
There, now I'm unmuted. There are lots and lots of putt-putt golf courses as well for those that are not, you know, big time golfers. There are ones with airplanes in them. It's just very unique. Probably the main strip has more putt-putt golf courses than I've ever seen in my entire life. That's kind of fun for families as well. So just something to put in there.
Okay.
Banana boats, parasailing, you name it, you can find it.
Absolutely.
And we need to get Stephanie there motivated. Is there a bowling alley there?
Oh, yeah, there is one. Yeah, a little more, but okay.
Okay, so we can count on Stephanie coming now because she's like the world's greatest bowler in St. Louis and
No, it's not me. It's my son and my husband. I'm just the cute trophy wife that does all the work and goes to work 5 days a week and is the president of our AMBUCS chapter and regional director for the motorcycle club. I just signed up to be the manager of the hockey team. I'm just the emotional support. The husband and the child are the bowlers. But yes, we would be more interested if there is a bowling alley. But putt-putt golf sounds great too.
Okay.
It's loads of fun, and there are bowling alleys. They're just, you know.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Okay, so we did a good job that we got it down to 1 more minute to go. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight, and I appreciate the interaction. And now it is a call for you to action what we just talked about and get people motivated to come to Myrtle Beach, because there would be nothing greater than just to see nearly 1/3 of our, well, 1/3 would be a lot. How about how about 10%
I'll take
of our,
1/3.
I would take 1/3 also, but let's shoot for 10%. So that's like 370. So I don't know the topic for next month yet. I'm working on that. One of the things that you do as a new president is some things just sneak up on you and you go, huh? I have to do that? Okay. So within a few days, we'll know what the topic is for September. Uh, there's a couple of topics in the future that we would certainly like to talk about. Mentoring being number one, bootstrapping, spark plugging new chapters. And further down the road, we'll definitely be talking about a strategic plan that will make all of us much better in future years. So unless anybody has any questions, I just thank every one of you for being here tonight, and go enjoy dinner or the rest of your evening. And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. See y'all soon.